That's why I succeed.
It made me want to run through a brick wall, G. I'm telling you for a fact. I'm telling you because I know the power of accountability. I know the power of taking control of your future. I know the power of being willing to fight for your dreams, being willing to go get coaching, seek mentorship. But at some point, when I started working out, and I'm heading to the gym after this, by the way, when I started working out, man, I did so many start and stops. For the first 2 years of me going to the gym, I promise you, I had a first day 35 times, 35, 40 times, easy. All right, on Monday, and I always just said it on Monday. On Monday, I'm telling you, on Monday, hey, I'm going cold turkey. You heard me? I'm in the gym every day. I'm eating good, and Monday I roll around, and I go Monday. I'm fired up. I'm in that pumping that iron. I'm probably lifting like 25 pounds. I'm pumping that iron. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting it. I'm getting it. And Tuesday comes, and a little voice come in my head, and it's like, I mean, do you gotta go? Like you went yesterday, so that's good. Like I'm proud of you, Rob. I'm talking to myself. I'm proud of you. You went Monday. Tuesday, you got studying to do. The kids need a happy meal, Oreo talking about watching a movie or whatever it is, whatever fucking excuse I made. It's raining outside, it's hot, it's cold, whatever the excuse I made. Tuesday become, and inevitably I would not go to the gym on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday will come, and Friday here I go again, having to start all the way over because I didn't just talk myself, I didn't trick myself out of becoming consistent. So I'm gonna tell you what I end up doing to get consistent in the gym. I said, all right, I'm not starting on Monday. I'm starting today. Whatever day that was, I said, today I'm going to the gym today. And for the first week, this is going to sound crazy. For the first week, I used to drive to the, let me, I used to drive to the gym and sit in the parking lot. I said, I'm going to do this for 7 days in a row. No lie. I drove to the gym, sat in the parking lot for about 10, 15 minutes, and I went home. I did that for 7 days. And I said, all right, next week, I'm going to drive to the gym. I'm going to check in, use the bathroom, and I'm going to leave. And I promise you, I went to the gym, I checked in, went to the bathroom in the gym, and I went to the house. And people look at this nigga, it's crazy. He just came in, like, ain't no way he'd have had a 2 minute workout. And the next week, I came in, I checked in, I went to the sauna, and I sat in there for 5 minutes, and then I left. If you're starting to understand what I'm saying is, a lot of the clips that we reviewed today, they're talking about starting small and building habits and being consistent. When I tell you when I go to the gym now, I am a motherfucking animal in the gym, but it started off with me starting small and gradually building myself up. That's what I'm gonna do with this YouTube channel. That's what I did with my tech career. That's what I've been doing with my finances. That's what I've been doing with improving overall with myself, with my looks, with my mindset, with everything, guys. One of the biggest, I guess you could say, secrets that I've learned, one of the biggest strategies that I learned is that it is better to take 2 steps consistently every day than to wake to walk a mile once in a blue moon. I'm gonna say that again. It is better to take 1 or 2 steps every day consistently than it is to walk a mile occasionally every now and then. Because what's gonna happen is it's not about the amount of ground you make with the 1 or 2 steps on a daily basis. It's the consistency that you build. And when you gradually scale up, what's going to end up happening is eventually those steps is going to add on to be a mile, but it's going to be consistent miles rather than occasionally and every now and then. That's how you win in life. That's how you win. You start out by reading one book on money. Maybe it's The Richest Man in Babylon or The Alchemist or something to start changing your mindset. For me, it was actually the first book I read was Ask and It Is Given by Jerry Esther Hicks, I believe. I'll drop it in the description. But that book changed my mindset and it did absolutely nothing when it came to results. But it started to turn the wheels in my mind to believing that I can accomplish something. That's what started the process of me becoming successful. And this was about 7 years ago. Then I read Rich Dad Poor Dad and The Alchemist and The Richest Man in Babylon, and it kind of started snowballing from there. But the point that I made is, though, with that book, even with my first book, I said, you know what? I'm gonna read 5 pages a day. And eventually that turned into, and I'm using this book as an example, but my point is it eventually turned into chapters a week and one chapter a day and one book a week. And now I'm feeding myself with positivity. And then I started implementing those things that was in the book. And I learned how to do my own credit. And I learned how to get into marketing. And then I just started slowly scaling up to the point to where now I'm finally over 6 figures. But even with that, me being here now, I understand that this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now I'm shooting for 300, 400K. We're talking about clearing $25,000, $30,000 a month after taxes and income, for example. Last thing I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna get out of here. I used to be 145 pounds soaking wet. Do you understand? 145 pounds soak and wet. I am now 164 pounds of damn near pure muscle. What my mentor used to say, um, twisted steel and panther piss. Like, and I'm an animal now, but I had to work up to that. And even with that, there's still things that I need to do, and there's still more runway for me to improve, for me to get better. So, what I don't want to hear from none of you, what I don't want to hear from none of you is, man, do I deserve this? Man, can I make this happen? Man, this person ain't do this for me and they ain't look out for me and they was hating. Now, I don't want to hear none of that. Not on this channel, not in our community that we're building. I hope that you can take something from this live stream and apply it to your spirit. I prayed before this. I'm hoping that God was able to speak through me and give you guys the messages that you've been looking for. Maybe I can confirm some of the things you've already been, thinking about doing. And whatever that little voice is in terms of you leveling up and whatever your next level is, I'm hoping that I can be a part of it. And I'm hoping that you can find something that can help you in that process. All right.